I'm so happy to be here. There are so many physical and emotional benefits to gratitude and giving. It is so exciting to be part of this event and to reflect on this and learn different areas that we can express gratitude and that we can give. And I'd like to thank you for attending this virtual event. This tells me that you have a grateful and giving heart. I'd like to talk about families, how we can show gratitude and give to them. Families provide the basic needs, those basic human needs that everyone needs. The food, shelter, that sense of belonging, and that guidance and nurturing that help us realize our full potential and become all that we can be. Their families have launched many successful people, and I want to tell you about one of them. This story begins over 100 years ago in the early 1900s in Seattle, Washington, in the United States. And there, a young widow was struggling to raise her 4 children. Her husband was ill the last 3 years of his life, so she was not only a single mother, she was also his caregiver. And struggling with limited resources, in fact, it became necessary for her oldest son, 11-year-old Jim, to leave school and find employment to help support the family. I'm sure that must have been a heart-wrenching decision for that mother to make, but she had limited resources and was doing the best she could. So Jim, at the age of 11, got a job as a bicycle messenger. Now, in Seattle at that time, there were plenty of dangers and distractions that would tempt a young, unsupervised boy. But Jim credits his mother with providing him with the structure, the values, helping him stay grounded and focused on what really mattered most. He learned a lot of respect and appreciation for his mother. He and his younger siblings all felt she held the family together when they lost their father. And she provided them with the security, that guidance that they needed. Well, Jim learned a strong work ethic. In 1907, when he was just 19 years old, he helped form the American Messenger Company, and he just had $100 in capital. He hired one of his younger brothers and other teenage boys in their neighborhood, and messages were delivered on foot and on bicycle. In 1913, he merged with the Motorcycle Messengers to form Merchants Parcel Delivery. Now the focus was more on delivering parcels, so they needed a delivery car. Their first car was a 1913 Model T. And by 1919, this business had expanded beyond Seattle, and the name was changed to United Parcel Service, better known as UPS. Well, this business grew rapidly after World War II. They were able to do more than just make deliveries for department stores. Jim developed the package handling and sorting machinery that allowed UPS to go beyond store deliveries. And this machinery, this system, is still in use in the industry today. Jim was more than just a brilliant entrepreneur. In 1948, he and his younger siblings formed the Annie E. Casey Foundation in honor of their mother. They all felt the love, the security. They were so grateful for everything their mother provided for them. And so they wanted to give back. They formed this foundation to help disadvantaged youth. They began by providing a camp for disadvantaged children near their home in Seattle. Jim continued with the business. He was the president and CEO, actively involved until he retired. And even then, he remained the honorary chairman of the board until just a month before his death at the age of 95 in 1983. This nonprofit he started with his siblings is still very much, it was a legacy he left behind. At the end of the year 2021, they had $4.2 billion in assets. It's now a private philanthropy and based in Baltimore, but it serves throughout the United States. It provides grants to help federal agencies, states, counties, cities, and neighborhoods, and to help them create more innovative, cost-effective responses to challenges facing children and young people. Their statement on their website reads, quote, "Our work focuses on strengthening families, building stronger communities, and ensuring access to opportunity, because children and young people need all three to succeed. We advance research and solutions to overcome the barriers to success, help communities demonstrate what works, and influence decision makers to invest in strategies based on solid evidence." End of quote. Everyone is concerned about what's best for children, as we should be. That's, of course, we care deeply about our upcoming generation. But this organization provides the research, finding out what really is the most effective way to support those families that may not have all of the advantages. On May 19th of 2015, they published Every Kid Needs a Family. And they outlined the developmental benefits of family. And quote, "Living with at least one parent is integral to a child's healthy development and continues to confer benefits that contribute to his success throughout life. Nurturing families treat children as individuals, leveraging their strengths, meeting their needs, and encouraging developmentally appropriate independence within a caring relationship. An infant's brain develops through positively reinforcing interactions with a dependable caregiver. Young children, treated as individuals, develop self-esteem and learn to form relationships and regulate behavior. Adolescents learn independence within healthy boundaries while looking to parents as a moral compass. Young adults draw on family experience and relationships to support self-reliance and to raise their own children." End of quote. We just heard Dr. Jan talk about how one of those family relationships, that of between a mother and a daughter, impacts our lives personally and professionally. So think about your family of origin. Think about the values you learned from them, the examples you saw, the tools you were given, the encouragement. And if nothing else, can you feel gratitude that they gave you life? I invite you to spend some time today pondering and expressing the gratitude you have for your family of origin. And now think about the family you created as an adult. Think about the individual members of that family. Are you able to feel an appreciation, a love, a sense of gratitude for each member? This isn't always easy. Conflict is inevitable in families. There will always be differences of opinions, different motivations, different goals. But when you are able to look on each member of your family, not as a problem or an obstacle you have to overcome to get what you want, but as a unique human being with their own needs and goals and motivations, you're able to start supporting each other, to helping each other reach your goals. I invite you to consider that as well. And then look around you at the families in your neighborhood, the ones you encounter, the strangers you encounter when you go out in public. In the United States, we celebrated Veterans Day yesterday, a day to honor and thank those who served our country in the military. Wouldn't it also be appropriate to thank our parents for serving by raising the next generation? It's so easy to find fault when you see children misbehaving in public and you want to give that mother a disapproving glare. But consider, if her child seems to have lost control of his emotions, maybe that child has special needs. Maybe that mother understands those needs better than anyone else and is doing everything she knows will be best for her child. I have a friend who is the mother of a child with autism, and I asked her once, what do you want people to do when your son has a meltdown in public? And her answer surprised me. She said, well, if they're really concerned, I'd like them to ask if they can help. Sometimes all her son needed was a drink of water to help him regulate. A meltdown experienced by children with special needs looks like an old-fashioned temper tantrum, but it isn't. Reaching out to support other families. If you see a young mother struggling with her little ones in the grocery store, compliment her on her beautiful children. It may be the only kind word she hears that day. I invite you to consider how you can show gratitude and giving within your own family, appreciation for your family of origin, and how you can join me in my mission of making the world a better place by strengthening families. And if you'd like to learn more about how you can strengthen your family relationships, I've created a presentation, a recording, and I've used numbers instead of words. So it's 5 values for families.com. I'd love to share that with you. Thank you again for joining, and have a wonderful weekend.